Let's bring in former senior advisor to the US Department of Homeland Security, Charles Marino, for more analysis on what we just heard there. Charles, thanks so much for your time once again. Look, yesterday when we spoke, we didn't know a huge amount, but now we've had some early morning updates from the president, but also from the FBI our time. The president saying just there they've found no connection between Shamsuddin Jabbar and Matthew Liversberger, the man who is believed to have died in the Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas. What's your thoughts?
So still early in the investigation, and I'll remind you, we keep hearing a key phrase that not at this time. The investigation continues. These are phrases that are purposely said to let the public know that things may change. Now, specifically with respect to the Las Vegas investigation, I listened to that press conference a short time ago. They have yet to execute search warrants on that individual's electronic devices. So there's a lot of information that's not known yet. One, was that individual also radicalized, as the subject was in New Orleans? And two, were there any communications or affiliations between the two attackers? So there's still more information that's going to come, I think, where law enforcement executives will be able to more definitively exclude a relationship between those two incidents. But the investigation continues, and you already see New Orleans responding by reopening Bourbon Street and going forth with that college bowl game later this evening.
Yeah, we learnt more as well about 37-year-old Matthew Liversberger. He's an active member of the military. And there are coincidences. Of course, I haven't found any links to ISIS from that Cybertruck explosion yet, but it's early in stages in the investigation. But they did find some coincidences with Shamsuddin Jabbar in that they both served at Fort Bragg around the same time. They both served in Afghanistan around the same time, but it's not clear if they knew each other at all. The trucks were both rented from the same rental app as well. So there are coincidences there that the FBI will be looking into.
Absolutely, and it's still enough for the hair to stand up on the back of your neck and raise your spidey senses, because these are a lot of coincidences. When you also include the day and times of the attacks. So, that's why I think it's not, really assertively being ruled out that they're not connected. And law enforcement authorities, I think, again, are purposely giving themselves some wiggle room, depending on the continuing investigation in Las Vegas. With respect back to New Orleans, it's good news that all indications right now are that this was a lone wolf that was inspired by ISIS. Again, I think an attack that would not have been prevented in its entirety, but certainly the risk should have been better mitigated based on the security preparations had they been done correctly on that outer perimeter of Bourbon Street. So I think this mass casualty event could have been minimized greatly had better security planning been implemented.
And just from those comments of President Joe Biden just before you came on, where he says the US will relentlessly pursue ISIS, is this now more of a focus for America?
Well, it needs to be. There's been a number of situations here in the US, as you're all well aware. That is the open borders that we have seen the past 4 years under the Biden administration. Many of these migrants coming from special interest locations where terrorist organizations or operations are still alive and well. That has increased the radicalization capabilities here within the United States, which is why we're now asking, with respect to the subject that carried out the New Orleans attack, was he radicalized here in the United States? Typically, we would ask, did he travel? Was he online? But now we also have to ask if it happened here within the country. We also have not been going after ISIS as aggressively as the first Trump administration was in places like Syria. and other locations. And that has allowed a resurgence of ISIS, which also is not good, especially from a recruitment and radicalization standpoint. So I think as President Trump comes back into office, we're going to see a focus, obviously, on the national security threats that are here within the United States. There's no mistake that we've been infiltrated as a country due to those open borders, to tie it back to that, and also that we've taken our foot off the gas with respect to ISIS overseas. And that will increase and change also under the Trump administration.
Charles Marino, appreciate your insights as always. Thank you.